Okay. Bruce, ready? Okay. Good morning. My name is Paul Wiedefeld. I'm chairman of the Maryland Transportation Authority Board. Today is Thursday, April 24th, 2025, and I hereby call the meeting of the MDTA Board to order at 9 a.m. This morning, we're having our meeting in person at MDTA headquarters, and in accordance with live streaming law, this meeting is being live streamed on the MDTA Board webpage. I'd like to say welcome to members and staff who are with us today. Not with us today is member Kanjami. He's unable to join us for this morning's meeting. As a reminder, I ask anyone who is in the room with us this morning to refrain from speaking unless you are presenting or answering a question to avoid background noise on the live stream. I would also like to ask the members to speak loudly and clearly so those in the back of the room are able to hear you. Also, please say your name when motioning or seconding dealt with meeting minutes. There are no members of the public, no elected officials, and no media who have pre-registered to comment at this morning's meeting. For those who are watching this meeting via the live stream, we have posted the materials for today's meeting on the MDTA Board webpage so that you can follow along if you would like. We'll now begin with today's agenda. Agenda item number 1 is approval of the session minute meetings of March 27th, 25. Is there a motion?
Member Cox, move for approval.
A second?
Second, Member Rosen.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Second agenda item is a series of contract awards. Mr. Davis? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, members of the board. I'm here to present multiple contracts for awards today. You want me to just move on?
Please. No, you can go.
First up is our contract number MDTA 2023-01, Comprehensive Traffic Engineering Services. The purpose of this the services to be performed under this contract include traffic controllers, device design, review, evaluation, and analysis, traffic engineering, planning, and operation studies, product and material evaluations and analysis, asset management services associated with traffic control and traffic safety devices, development of plans, specifications, and estimates for traffic-related construction contracts and/or task orders, and supplementing staffing support, and project and program management. The MDTA advertised with the intent to award up to 3 contracts to the 3 highest technically ranked firms for a total of $10 million for a 5-year period. We anticipate presenting this contract at the June 11, 2025 BPW meeting. Wanted to state that there is no current, none of the proposers here are an incumbent. Now, they have worked on these types of services in the past, but I believe this is the 3rd of a traffic specific contract for us. The first 2 were small business reserve contracts, which did include some support from 5% overall MBE and 1% VSBE goals for this contract. So my ask this morning is to give approval to execute this contract for comprehensive traffic engineering services.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Mr. Davis on this contract?
Sorry, am I missing, where's the engineer's estimate for this?
So an engineer's estimate would be for like a project specific. This is we'll say a work order based on-call engineering services. So what we have is we make a request for up to $10 million. In this one, in my notes, we made a request for up to $10 million and up to 3 contracts. So our goal was to find 3 firms and then split the $10 million amongst them. So there would not be an engineer's estimate for this type of work.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions or comments on this? If not, is there a motion to approve the comprehensive traffic engineering services contract?
So moved, Member Carroll.
there a second?
Member Arndinger, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Apologies, I didn't read off the list of the firms, but they are on that slide for you.
Yeah, I note, they're not incumbents, but these are not, these are very, they know our business very well.
Okay, scroll to the next one. Okay, next up I have contract number MT00211-389, HVAC and ATC maintenance repairs at MDTA's central location. Purpose of this contract is to retain the services of a contractor who can provide timely and quality services to ensure all HVAC and ATC systems are in dependable condition and are always continuously operational and functional. We anticipate presenting this to the May 7th BPW. This one received 3 bids. The lowest responsive bidder was Denver Ellick, who is the incumbent. And there were no protests received, and they submitted an MBE plan that meets the 14% goal and 1% VSBE goal. One thing just to highlight, this is, you'll see a few of these. We separated what used to be an agency-wide into 5 regional contracts. So you'll see this 4 more times.
Mr. Cox, Member Cox.
Yes, Jeff, is this, the firms listed, have you had experience with all 3 of them, or even the incumbent is the one below bid? Have you had any problems with that firm performing in the past?
We have had contracts with Denver Ellick in the past. I do not know the other 2 proposed bidders as intimately. I do not believe we have any recent contracts with them. The larger agency-wide one was held by Denver Ellick. And we have had we've had a successful contract with them.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on this contract? If not, is there a motion to?
I'll make a motion. Member
Thank you,
Cox.
Mr. Cox. Is there a second?
Second, Member Sneed.
Thank you, Member Sneed. All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. And Mr. Davis, the last one?
Yeah. One more of us in a similar vein, MT00211-392, for HVAC and ATC maintenance repairs at MDTA's ICC facility. Purpose of the contract is the same, provide timely and quality services to ensure all HVAC and ATC systems are in a dependable condition and are continuously operational and functional. We anticipate presenting this one to the May 7th BBW as well. You'll see for this one we received 4 bids. The lowest bidder, again, was Denver Ellick Incorporated, who is the incumbent for that region. And there was no protest, and the MBE goal of 14% and 1%, and the VSB goal of 1% was met by the proposer, or by the bidder.
When will the other 2 contracts come to them?
Well, one of them is still in 2 of them are still in evaluation. And one of them is, one of them we rejected a bidder and it was proposed, so we're working our way, it was protested, we're working our way through that. So that one I don't have a date for you. I believe next month you'll see the additional ones.
Okay. Very good. Any other questions or comments? If not, is there a motion to approve the HVAC and ATC maintenance repairs contract for the ICC? Thank you, Mr. Ramsey. Second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr.
Awesome, great, thank you.
Agenda item number 3 is approval of the MDTA Board Resolution 25-01, Series 2025 bonds. Mr. Garman?
Great, thank you. Good morning. The purpose of the resolution is to provide delegated authority by the board to senior management to conduct the financing. The provisions within the resolution have 2 limits. One is essentially the time. We would have a deadline of December 31st, and the other is the size limit. It's limited to $600 million, and that size would be sufficient to finance capital projects or a portion of capital projects for the upcoming fiscal year. If you look at the second page, you can see just the highlights of the delegated authority is essentially the board has vested authority to conduct all financings, and that's typically delegated through resolution to the CFO and executive director. And they in turn, conduct the sale, which is essentially going to market, working with underwriting firms either through a negotiated process or competitive sale, hiring bond counsel, working with municipal advisors. And then the resolution also requires the first board meeting after the sale to come back and update the board on the results of the sale. We presented this item also at the Finance Committee level, and they reviewed it and recommended that it move forward to the full board for approval. The $600 million size is related to the last official forecast approved by the board, and that was the modeled size that we would need for fiscal '26 financing needs. So we're just essentially requesting approval of Board Resolution 25-01.
Thank you. Member Von Paris, any comments, Mr. Chairman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As mentioned, the Finance Committee did review this and asked some questions. They were answered to our satisfaction. Bond cap is adequate, and I would like to say we're very fortunate to have a very talented, hardworking finance team here at MDTA. So it's unanimous approval by the Finance Committee to advance to the board. Thank you. Sure. Make a motion that we approve this item as presented.
Is there a second?
I have a question, Member Sneed. Thank you, Mr. Chair. With the market volatility recently, will that affect the timing at all of the bond sale, or will it not?
I mean, there's a sort of some favorable supply-demand characteristics in the summer months. This agency, all of our principal payments are due July 1st, and so there are a lot of issuers that have similar structures where the principal is due in the summer, and so June, July, and August tend to be favorable times. So as the coupon payments and principal payments occur during the summer months, mutual funds and institutional holders have a lot of money to reinvest. So we'll be targeting the summer months for a bond sale. But I think more specifically about your question is we're somewhat beholden to the market, and when we need to come to market, we can delay it for a period of time to try to find a more stable rate environment. Certainly, there's been a lot of volatility in equities and treasuries in recent months, particularly in the muni market. Rates are significantly higher than they were in December. So I know some issuers have pulled back and delayed bond sales because of that, sharp increase in rates. For the toll sector curve, rates are up about 30 to 50 basis points since just the end of the year. So some issuers have delayed bond sales. So the agency has some flexibility to try to time, more favorable environment, and hopefully by July, August time period, we'll get a little bit more, color on the market and things will stabilize a bit. Hopefully rates will come down. There's talk about, additional Fed cuts and a slowing economy, and so I would caution that when we need to come to market, we need to come to market, but we do have some flexibility in, around a few weeks or a few months of when we come.
Thank you. Appreciate your insight.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions or comment? Is there a second?
Member Ardinger, I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The fourth agenda item is the MDTA Police Public Security update from Colonel Scott.
First, good morning, Chairman,
Good morning, Chief.
members of the board. So for the record, my name is Colonel Joseph Scott, Chief of the Maryland Transportation Authority Police. First quarter 2025, the MDTA Police have been focused on our mission of providing safety, security, and service to those who utilize our facilities. And with that being said, as we focus on what I call the 7 pillars of 2025, there's been a marked improvement in engagement and productivity. During the first quarter of 2025, you've had a 39% increase in the number of traffic contacts from the previous year, a 7% increase in DUI arrests, a 20% reduction in traffic collisions, 1 fewer fatalities year to date, a 23% decrease in Part 1, or what we call serious crimes, and a 40% reduction in aggravated assaults as of thus far. I cannot be prouder of the men and women of Maryland Transportation Authority Police. Back in December, we set a goal for 2025. And in setting those goals, we created what I call the 7 pillars. Those 7 pillars are traffic safety, recruitment, officer wellness, policy revision, advancing technology, building trust and legitimacy in the communities we serve, and training and education. In February, the MDTA Police conducted a 1-day recruitment event to finalize our officer candidate class that was upcoming, started in April. In April, Academy class number 60 started, and we started with 38 MDTA police officers. That is the largest amount of police officers in the academy in the last 25 years. So that was our pillar number 1 of 2. So you can just see we have been focused, laser focused in the last 6 months and making sure we had as many personnel as possible to go into this academy class. Now, unfortunately, currently we have 65 vacancies. But with that being said, I think we're well on the way of filling those vacancies. In March, we completed the full implementation of our body-worn camera program. Now, this was a legislative mandate, mandated to be completed by July the 1st, 2025, and we far exceeded that expectation or goal. In February, we also reorganized our Operations Support Unit. This is for us to be strategically aligned with the traffic safety mandate, which is pillar number 1. Our Operations Support Unit is currently called the Traffic Safety Section. This reorg has paid dividends not only in productivity, but also has increased morale and above average number of officers who have put in to be a part of this unit. I'd like to say this is causing what I like to say is a synergy, an energy, a new focus. And when police officers sometimes we can get locked in and doing the same old thing all the time. When you give them opportunities to be part of specialized units, that newness can cause a sense of energy. So we're seeing that around the agency right now, and I just think it's phenomenal. Last week we had one of the commanders up, and he spoke on what the morale was. And I asked the question every time we have a commander report out, what is the morale? Scale of 1 to 10. He said it's 20, sir. So what that does for me, you can't imagine. But then his assistant commander stood up and said, sir, it's all because of the leadership. So you got to understand, people are starting to buy in. Sometimes it takes a little while, but here we are. Some of the upcoming events in the MDTA Police. Next Friday, we'll be conducting our Fallen Hero ceremony. And this will ultimately recognize those individuals who have given their life, their ultimate sacrifice in the MDTA Police. MDTA Police will also be holding our 3rd, what we call police showcase at police headquarters for a high school. It's Randalltown High School. And what this is we get with the high schools in order to bolster our cadet program. If you get them when they're young, become a cadets, we have a couple years to really imprint on them what it is to be a police officer. And then that puts them that much farther ahead of the game once they go into the police academy. So that is of the utmost importance. Another one of our pillars, pillar number 6, building trust and legitimacy in the communities we serve. So on May the 7th, we will be starting our 2nd Community Partnership Academy. This is an academy where the people in the community can come in. They get an opportunity to put hands on some of the equipment that we have and go through scenarios. This gives them insight into who we are and what we do. and try to bridge that gap when it comes to police and law enforcement. We'll also be participating May the 13th and May the 15th is National Police Officer Week in D.C., and MDTA will be a big part of those ceremonies. I would just like to say I became Chief of Police in May 15th of last year. Since I've been a police chief officially, it has been an honor to serve, but more than anything, it's my honor to serve alongside of the officers in the agency. And after 2024, I think we all caught our breath, and 2025 is endless. With that, I'll take any questions you may have.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions, Chief? Comments? Chief, gentlemen, thank you obviously for the event that we did the other day on the Beltway. To just recognize, the highway workers and making sure that we're focusing on their safety as well in all the work zones. So I appreciate you
No problem,
being
sir.
part of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 5 is a legislative session update. Mr. Kittleman?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and board members. For the record, my name is James Kittleman, and I'm the Assistant Manager of Government Relations here at the MDTA. I'm here to present the final legislative update for the 2025 session. Mary and Brad are both out today on well-deserved vacations. The 2025 session of the Maryland General Assembly adjourned on April 7th. During this year's session, a total of 2,605 bills were introduced, and our team was assigned over 200 bills to monitor and comment on. I would like to start with the bills that moved during session. Senate Bill 210, House Bill 288 was our departmental bill that increased the time period that tolls, fees, and mileage rate ranges could be temporarily adjusted by the MDTA board during an emergency. Both bills passed out of both chambers, and Governor Moore signed them into law on April 8th. The effective date is October 1, 2025. Thank you to members Cox and Von Paris for representing the board during the bill signing. House Bill 988, which was sponsored by the Montgomery County delegation, authorizes the MDTA to operate speed monitoring systems on Maryland Route 200, the Intercounty Connector, or ICC. The bill passed both chambers as well and has been sent to the governor for his consideration. If signed by Governor Moore, the effective date is October 1, 2025. Moving on, Senator Sidnor and Delegate Stewart introduced Senate Bill 941, House Bill 1465, which would have required the MDTA to offer income-based installment plans for the payment of tolls, civil penalties, and fines totaling $250 or more. During committee consideration, both bills were amended to align with the MDTA's existing COMAR for installment plans. However, we also sought a clarifying amendment that was adopted for both bills on the Senate floor. Although Senate Bill 941 did not move in the House once it passed the third reading in the Senate, House Bill 1465 did pass both chambers and is awaiting Governor Moore's consideration. If signed by the governor, the effective date is also October 1, 2025. Senator Kagan and Delegate Ziegler introduced Senate Bill 322, House Bill 470, which would prohibit a person from obscuring or modifying a license plate in a manner that may prevent identification. The Motor Vehicle and Transportation Subcommittee amended the bill to include prohibiting a person from advertising for or promoting the sale of an unlawful registration plate cover by falsely claiming that the license plate cover is lawful in the state. Additionally, the amended bill establishes that a violation of the act is an unfair, abusive, or deceptive trade practice subject to certain enforcement and penalties. Furthermore, the bill was amended so that the act of obscuring or modifying a license plate would be enforced as a secondary offense. Although Senate Bill 322 did not move in the House after passing third reader in the Senate, House Bill 470 did pass both chambers and is awaiting Governor Moore's consideration. If signed by Governor Moore, the effective date, also October 1, 2025. Delegate Bondari introduced House Bill 1544, which would have created the Maryland Law Enforcement Public Service Medal. The medal would have been the highest state honor awarded to law enforcement officers. During committee consideration, the bill was amended to name the 5 MDTA police officers who were instrumental during the FSK bridge collapse as the first recipients of the award. The amended bill also removed language requiring a 1-grade promotion for recipients of the award. The bill did pass out of the House, but it did not move in the Senate. Moving on, Delegate Phillips introduced House Bill 578, which would have authorized the Maryland Board of Public Works to control certain procurement contracts by the Department of Transportation and the MDTA that were valued at or above $500,000. During committee consideration, the bill was amended. However, the bill never reached the House floor for a vote. So now I would like to move on to briefly update you on some of the bills that we monitored that did not move beyond the bill hearing stage. The 3 bills related to the Francis Scott Key Bridge did not move after their bill hearings. And additionally, House Bill 1068, introduced by Delegate Jeffrey Long, would have required the MDTA to fix, revise, charge, and collect fees, tolls, and other charges at the near optimal toll rate. The bill also established a transportation facilities overage account within the Transportation Trust Fund and requires the MDTA to transfer money into the account to be used for certain construction and maintenance projects. There was a bill hearing scheduled for House Bill 1068, but it was canceled and never rescheduled. Now moving on, there are 4 joint chairman reports, or JCRs, that the MDTA will have to submit to the legislator. A quarterly update on the FSK Bridge reconstruction, feasibility of capturing images of only rear license plates of vehicles, collection of outstanding toll debt, and a report on the actions that can be taken to reduce the vessel collision vulnerability of certain bridges in the state. Now, before I close, I would like to update the board that the COMAR changes to allow for the termination of the changes to allow for the termination of inactive EasyPass accounts became effective on March 31st. These changes, which the board approved during its October 2024 meeting, will provide significant savings to the agency. Now, finally, and most importantly, I would like to thank Bruce and our entire team here at the MDTA for all their hard work during this year's session. Truly is a team effort, and we have an amazing team here at the MDTA, so thank you to all of our subject matter experts who helped us out tremendously. And with that, thank you so much. I'll be happy to take any questions.
James, thank you, and Bradley, and Mary, and obviously, Bruce, I owe an apology to, obviously, for my initial concern on one of the bills that in the old days might have been a little bit more testy. But, Mr. Chairman, good work with the team. It was a team effort, and what you've done so far as your positions, I commend you.
Thank you.
And it was an honor, John, Member Von Paris, might to be there at the bill signing. Mr. Bruce, I mean, I commend you for persevering, and the team and the secretary. I mean, it was an honor to be there and to see that happen. Thank you.
Well, I think we need to give credit to the chairman. He kept the General Assembly so busy with other issues besides MDTA that, we were able to go through.
It was quite the plan, but I guess it worked. Yes. Mr. Rizzo.
Thanks for your report. Just if there is a special session, do we expect that any of the bills pertaining to the authority would come up at that point, or would those probably be next session?
Probably next session.
I can answer that normally from the old days, and this has really changed. When you call special sessions for a specific purpose, one specific purpose, or they can do it again and again, but normally just one.
Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thanks so
Again,
much.
thank the entire team. Okay, agenda item number 6, Executive Director's Report. Mr. Gardner.
Okay, I just have a few things to go over today, focusing on safety and our top priorities. The chief mentioned that a little bit. Some public meetings that we had, some environmental programs that we had some employee recognition on, and finally, in place of Mary today, we have a bunch of awards to talk about. So I'm going to go through that. But first, on a more serious note, Monday represented our formal submission to the NTSB on their request for a report on the assessments of the Bay Bridge. So we were pleased to report out that we had conducted that assessment. We provided that information to them. As we are looking at things, we have obviously responding to a number of questions in the press about stuff, but the work is ongoing. That we have reported to you in the past, the work on the Bay Bridge and the other short and long-term measures that we are undertaking, including the continued study of the Chesapeake Bay crossing. And all that was not necessarily heard, so I'm sorry about that, Chris. See, Mary would have caught that if she were here, so. The NTSB report out from MDTA is complete, and we are continuing our work. So, any questions on that?
Any questions on that?
Pause. Okay.
I have one. So my understanding, we are one of 68 bridges across the country. Do we have any sense of where other authorities, or they could have been departments, I guess, where they are in terms of them submitting their reports?
Yeah, so there is a public webpage on NTSB where we can see what the summaries of what has been submitted. Currently, last check earlier today, there are about 6 of the 30 owners that have not responded yet to the NTSB. And in terms of the variety of your responses, just like anything else in life, there was a large variety. So there are a few that have actually completed that report like us. Some of them have said they meet the standards required for new bridges. Several have indicated that they are soon undertaking an analysis or have started analysis. Some of them have procured a company, some haven't, so the range of that varies. And at least one of them was kind of talking about what their bridge classification is as maybe not what the NTSB is saying in terms of a critical bridge. And, there's more follow-up we could do on just explaining those differences at a future capital committee meeting potentially. But it was a large variety of the report of responses.
I just want to thank the team. Obviously, shortly after the collapse of the bridge, we started the work on this. And so I want to thank Jim and his team for getting that materials into the NTSB. We have a plan going forward, and we'll pursue it. So thank you.
Yes. So continuing on, the Chairman made reference to National Work Zone Awareness Week. This theme this year is Respect the Zone, so we all get home. Very important message. We had an event the other day that the MDTA hosted on the part of 695, just north of the Key Bridge. But that week aims to raise awareness on the need for more caution when driving, promote uniform set of safety tips, and recognize the value of training, importance of best practices with regard to work zone safety. Obviously, Will Pines and his team at SHA and under the Lieutenant Governor's leadership for the work zone safety program, and Ron Alfred is here. He was on that committee with Lieutenant Governor, have done a lot of things. The program at SHA that they've done with increasing the fines really are important part of the process for the entire state and all our work zones. In part of the Awareness Week, we had Go Orange recognition events. This year, we took it out to many of our facilities. Before, we had just done it around a few facilities, so we're trying to expand that recognition for our employees, making them aware of what they need to do for themselves and that we do value what they are doing and the fact that it is dangerous in everything that they do. We also took part in the Unity Ride, which is on the west side of the Beltway. We had 3 units taking part of that that happened yesterday. And I just want to thank the MDTA staff from communications, operations, police, engineering for all they did to support those events this week. That was very important. In terms of public meetings, we had our quarterly Bay Bridge Reconstruction Advisory Group on April 2nd. So with our Director of Planning and Program Development, Melissa Williams, did provide an update on the Bay Crossing Tier 2 NEPA study. That group, as you can imagine, is actively engaged in monitoring everything that we do down there. And we were able to tell them that we still anticipate having public hearings in November that will identify a preferred alternative and subsequent comment period. Then those comments will be incorporated into the final environmental impact statement. And still the plan is to be completed by December of 2026. So you'll be getting some updates on that project in committees in the near future before those public hearings. The next BRAG meeting will be held on Wednesday, July 9th of 2025 at 6 p.m. So yesterday, in addition to Go Orange, we had our annual Earth Day ceremonies and hosted by the Office of Environment, Safety, and Risk Management. Did a really great job at the Baltimore Harbor Tunnel, really good turnout. Several vendors were there. We were able to recognize the different facilities for the recycling accomplishments of the statewide goal. We were at about 32%. We had 2 facilities recognized. One was JFK2 that won the award for the most improved recycling, so always trying to get better. And the Bay Bridge facility won for the award for the highest overall recycling rate. So it's a great opportunity just to honor our employees in that way of what they do that's maybe not feeling like the core business, but very important. Getting on to even more awards and some fairly significant ones. On April 9th, the Maryland Quality Initiative held its first annual awards banquet dinner, and the 2024 awards were presented. So as I indicated previously, those are sitting here next to me, several of them, but I'm going to list them out. So there was a planning award for the Francis Scott Key Bridge rebuild plan and for the work necessary to develop the NEPA categorical exclusion to allow the rebuild to begin quickly. There was a Green Sustainability Environmental Award for the I-95 ETL northbound extension at Maryland 152 interchange. This is a large interchange design and construction project that faced the challenges to expand 95 while minimizing impacts to trees, forests, streams, and wetlands. That project also won a Bronze Partnering Award for a project over $10 million. There was a Gold Partnering Award for a project over $10 million. It was awarded to MDTA for debris removal, disposal, and cleanup of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. For the Modal Awards project over $5 million, this is MDTA's Francis Scott Key Bridge Recovery Project received that award, and the Key Bridge project recovery was awarded the MDQI project for projects over $5 million. So of all the different projects around the state, this is the second year in a row that we've had this, so we gave it back for about a week or so, and Jim Harkness and his team will be taking it back to their headquarters. Granted, this award is for something that was involved a tragedy, so we do need to recognize that it was part of that, but it just exemplifies the hard work that the team took in responding to that tragedy. So I'm really proud of them and doing it, and we were pleased to outperform the BWI restroom upgrade, I guess, is what is our next closest competition. But it's a significant project, but it was just a little bit ironic to have those two juxtapositions. So moving on, I would like to, I'm pleased to go next to the employee recognition. Actually, before I do that, just upcoming, I think you all have on your calendars, May 20th is our annual employee recognition event up at JFK, so that we're going to be doing a rodeo for our operations team up there. It was a great event last year that unfortunately I had to leave early, so my plea to the chairman is just not to schedule another important meeting on me. It was probably a Key Bridge meeting last year. Got to be there for part of it, so I'm hoping that I can be there for more of it this year. But so that will recognize employees. But once again, as you're used to, we also am recognizing an employee of the quarter for the MDTA. It's always an honor to do this, to just get recognition to our employees that are really out there on the front lines. So our employee of the quarter for quarter one of 2025 started with the MDTA on December 16th, 2022. That employee was recognized for exceptional leadership and contributions as a Transportation System Management and Operations Specialist 3, we call in the TSMO program. With an influx of new hires, with no hesitation, this employee stepped up and helped train, and even allowing trainees to shadow him. His supervisors indicated two things. I'll read two quotes. When we leave the office, we know he is willing to lead the team in our absence. Our entire team looks to him as a leader. Also, this employee consistently went above and beyond, offering guidance and support to their peers. He took it upon himself to mentor others, helping build their confidence and character. His approachability, patience, encouragement fostered an environment where his colleagues felt empowered and motivated to excel. This employee truly exemplifies the qualities of a leader who inspires others to reach their full potential. He also has extensive knowledge of the transportation systems and makes team members feel welcome and supported throughout their learning process. We're incredibly fortunate to have him in this role, and his contributions have positive impact on the team and the organization. This employee was nominated by Sophia Wise. Please help me congratulate Eric Jarvis from the Traffic Management Technology as the employee of quarter one. Did he not realize he was being talked about before his name? Eric, come on up here. We're going to get a picture before we go to the closed session. So congratulations, and I've got, I'll hold that with you while we do the picture. That, and this I need to get to. We're going to go up to the sign next to the chairman. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my remarks.
Great. Any questions or comments for the executive director? If not, thank you. We've now reached the closed session portion of the agenda. This closed session is scheduled for the board members and designated staff. For those persons in this room and on live stream, as soon as we have completed the closed session, we will come back into this room to ratify any actions that might have been taken in closed session and to continue with the remainder of the agenda in open session. We appreciate your patience. Per the Maryland Open Meetings Act, the MDTA Board will meet in closed session under General Provisions Article Section 3-305B15 to discuss the MDTA's cybersecurity, including discussions regarding security assessments and deployment of information technology and network security related to detecting and investigating possible criminal activity. Also, Section 3-305B10 and 12 to receive an update on deployment of police staff and resources and other security measures, to discuss a pending investigation proceeding involving possible criminal conduct, and Section 3-305B8 to receive status update on all litigation currently pending against the MDTA. Members, is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved, Member Carroll. Second, Member Von Paris.
Thank you, Member Von Paris. The time now is 9:41 a.m., and we'll now go into closed session. Thank you. Okay. All righty. Good morning. The time now is 10:32 a.m., and the board has completed its closed session. There were no actions taken in closed session that require ratification. At this point, the agenda is complete. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved, Member Carroll?
A second?
Member Arndinger, all second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. This concludes the meeting of the MDTA Board at 10:32 a.m.
Thank you.
Great.